Okay, guys, I want to call the Hopkinton Town Council meeting of November 7th, 2016 to order with a moment of silent meditation and salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to dismiss the licensing board. All those in favor? Aye. First up, liquor license renewals. Number one, open a hearing on the renewal of the following liquor licenses. Class A, Hopkinton Liquor Depot, Lynn Marie King, President of PLW Hopkinton Inc., 229 Main Street. Applicant present? No. D&M Liquors, DBA Village Place LLC, Dennis Plant, 999 Main Street, Hope Valley. Dennis is there. Class BV, Brick Oven Restaurant, Keith Knott, President. Charahoe Grill, Daniel Canuck, President. Daniel. Okay, Fenner Hill Country Club LLC, Ron Levesque. Okay. Lucky House Restaurant, Danny Zhang. Also Danny. Okay. Pavilion Steakhouse, Ray Quinlan, President, Frontier Road Properties LLC. Okay, George. Wood River Golf, Kathy. I see Kathy in the audience. Class B Limited, Main Street Pizza, Chris Helinski. I see Chris back there. All fees paid and notices posted, Lori? Yes. Okay. All right. Any discussion, folks, on these? Okay. Yes, okay. Anyone have a question?
I do have a question. On the Charahoe Grill, can I just ask what the status of that is?
Daniel's not here.
We don't, okay. It's just, it's been sitting there,
Yeah,
sitting
no,
there,
no.
sitting there. No, there's no problem with the BV license.
Any
because-
word from the clerk's office?
Well, he does pay for his license.
Yeah. You know, I'm not worried about the license so much, it's just like, I like to see the thing up and running. So, okay.
Anyone out there wishing to be heard for or against? Okay. Need a motion to grant renewal?
Are you going to take up D&M when we get to the,
Yeah,
that license?
yeah.
Up ahead on that.
So
Well, that's a separate, right? It's a separate matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're not going to approve D&M liquors under Class A because we're going to be addressing it on the transfer?
No, no. No, this is separate license.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Then
we deal with the transfer after, that's a separate agenda.
So the question is, do we want to give it to them again? Because it's a floating license, because he does not own another building yet. Can George explain to us why we would do that? Is he far enough along that he's buying the property that he's actually going to move forward with him this year to become a liquor store? Or is it still going to be giving him a floating license that if I give it to him, I can't give it to anyone else? And it's been about 2 years pending. So I know he's moving forward. Perhaps he could give us more information
Well, I think that may pertain to the agenda item
on,
further.
no, that's the transfer.
Right, but that's what your question is.
No, my question is, under Class A, I'm giving him a license right now. The
Right.
renewal of liquor license, I don't know that I want to give him a liquor license unless I know that he is moving forward with the property, he will be buying it, and it will become a done deal this year rather than being floating.
I'm not sure I understand the question, but
But-
maybe you do.
but-
I'll respond, Mr. President, if you'd like, you
Sure.
could consolidate the renewal with the transfer.
Okay.
Make it simple for you, and I can answer all those questions.
All right, that's perfect.
So we can
We'll
not.
do it with
We'll hold that
the,
to the answer.
with the transfer.
All right.
Yeah.
Move that we approve Class A Hopkinton Liquor Depot license.
Second.
Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Class BV, move that we approve Brick Oven, Charahoe Grill, Fenner Hill, Lucky House. Oh, I'm sorry, we shouldn't do those because they're not, nobody's present. Start again. Brick Oven, Fenner Hill, Pavilion, and Wood River Golf.
Second.
Motion made second. Any questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye. Class BV Limited, move that we approve the license for Main Street Pizza.
Second.
Okay, motion made second. Any questions, concerns? All those in favor? Next, Class A liquor license transfer. Mr. Plant, continue the hearing on an application for the transfer of the Class A liquor license to change the location of Village Place Liquors from 999 Main Street, Hope Valley, to 26 Alton Bradford Road, Bradford, filed by Dennis Plant, President, D&M Liquors, Inc., DBA Village Place Liquors, 29 Wincheck Pond Road, Rockville, continued from April 18, 2016. Mr. Kamala.
Mr. Chairman, members of the council, Attorney George Kamoli, have the pleasure of representing D&M Liquor, Dennis Plant. As you know, we were before you in April. This is an application for the transfer of liquor license from Hope Valley over to a location now to be proposed at 26 Alton Bradford Road. The property prior in April had not been formed. We had to create an administrative subdivision which created now a 55,000 square foot lot, which was a 20,000 square foot non-conforming lot. That was approved on June 20th, 2016, and it's part of the record, and it's a separate independent lot as we speak. Secondly, we had to get zoning approval to confirm that a package store was allowed as a use code 592 retail sale. If the council permits me, Mr. President, I would move, and I have copies for everyone as zoning standard. Thank you. If I may proceed. Secondly, we went back before the planning board for what they call development site plan review. The plan on the board, and I'll be presenting plans to the council, outlines that this went through development site plan review. We basically saved the Dutch colonial that exists there, and we put an addition to the package store. On the evening of October 5th, 2016, your planning board unanimously approved it, but to the council should note that not only did we send notice letters to everyone within 200 feet by certified mail, we sent postcard notice out to everyone within 500 feet. I move that as an exhibit. I believe 3 neighbors showed up at the hearing. One neighbor was concerned about a bus stop across the street, and we addressed his concerns, and the planning board did. And I believe another neighbor requested a zip line from our house to the package shop.
That was me.
The next, I'm actually showing you a rendering which is on the board, the layout of the proposed building and the circulation of the proposed package store at the site. I move it as an exhibit. As noted, it's been approved by your zoning, been approved by your planning. The building took advantage of the historic Dutch colonial there. We have dark sky compliance. The only signage is a small wood sign, which is spotlit in the front. We're utilizing all the existing plantings there, and all the deliveries are towards the rear of the property. If the board permits me, I have one witness only, and that would be Mr. Plant, if I may call.
Sure.
Dennis? Speak right into that mic, I can speak
Good
loud.
evening,
For the record, your name?
Dennis Plant.
And you're the applicant before the board?
Yes, I am.
What is your position with DNS?
I'm former president for the last 22 years.
Now, you currently have a liquor license that is pending for renewal,
Correct.
and you have no particular location for that particular license.
I hope so after tonight.
Okay. And the location you're proposing is the same one that I presented to the board?
Correct.
Prior to coming before this board, you've historically run package stores, have you not?
Yes, I have for 22 years.
And how many package stores have you run?
This will be my 5th.
Okay, and their locations?
One Providence, 2 Cranston, and the last one was Exeter.
And the one in Exeter was located where?
News Neck Hill Road.
And they're more or less similar to this, in small neighborhood businesses.
Very similar.
And you're familiar with all the rules and regulations as they pertain to a Class A license?
Yes,
Now, if you were allowed to transfer and renew your license at this location, what would be the hours of operation, sir?
7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 10, Sunday, 10 to 6.
And why did you select this particular site?
Mostly because the house was beautiful and I can have ample parking, which is very important.
Now, currently you're under contract with the Richard Grills 2007 Trust, and you plan on closing immediately after the transfer of the
This
site.
week.
And is there anything particular you'd like to point out to the board concerning the development of this site?
Just ready to get going. I think it's going to be a beautiful addition to Hopkinton. With, kind of my vision is a town vision, so it works out nice. I'm a resident of the town, and that'll be something we can all be proud of. So,
I have no further questions. We welcome any questions about the Dennis or myself.
Good. All right, so then,
What's the name of the new business going to be?
it's going to be Village Wine and Spirits. Kind of, it's an area with all little old villages there, so kind of got that name.
Well, wish you good luck.
Thank you very much.
Barbara.
And I've been watching the planning board and watching this go through the process. I think that it should be able to be a very good business for the town. I'm happy you're doing it, and I'm particularly happy that you're actually going to have a mortgage as of next week.
Oh, this week I'm anxious,
Yeah, because I saw on this that you don't, on your application, does applicant says that it was by 12/1, or in this case, it might be by 11 something.
Yeah, we have it in our contract, for the end of this week, so, it was all kind of in this area.
That's exactly what I needed to know. I just wanted to make sure that it was being bought, it's going to start working forward. I do wish you luck.
Thank you very much.
David?
Yeah, Mr. Plain, a couple of questions. I think it's a wonderful idea. It looks like it's going to be a wonderful structure. I think it's going to be a plus for the community. When do you think you'd be opening the door?
Outside goal, I'd really be happy for late spring, early summer. Everything's going to work perfectly. The permitting process takes some time.
Sure. 6 to 9 months and something like that.
Oh, yeah, I would hope so.
We have a new light ordinance on gas stations. Do you plan any lights of that nature, with LED lights? LED lights?
Yeah, LED, what's that, sky?
Yeah, you're dark sky compliant. We do not have LED lights. We have a spotlight, wood side in the front.
Okay. You don't have any, but
I was never a fan of
You're gonna stay with the wood
spotlights and.
you're going to stay with the wood sign rather than going with the LED at this point right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think a year ago you appeared before us, and there was some question about the president of your company. I believe it said Patricia Plant.
No, that's DNP, because that's the buildings. I've had a couple of buildings before, and they've been in her name.
Okay, but this is your name. Can I just ask you one other question? I live in Hope Valley, and that building up there now has been empty for, what, 2.5 years. Why wasn't there, you're thinking, keep it open? Because it doesn't look very nice empty, and why wasn't there any thinking of keeping it open until you get all the approvals for this building, and then say, okay, we're going to close this down and move it over here? Why do we have to have that building
The
empty?
cost to renovate it the way I would like to run it would be too much, and then I would renovate it as a liquor store, then I always wanted to move it because the parking wasn't ample there.
No, it wasn't.
And then, what do I do with everything? Who knows if it's gonna take this long,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, no, I feel sorry for you. It took 2.5 years.
Oh, no, not 1.5 years, not 2.5 years, it's only been a year and a half. Yeah, I just purchased it last July.
How long has that still been closed up in Hope Valley?
They closed it, and I think in either April or May of last year, so it's been about a year and a half.
Okay, yeah, it's just been sitting there.
But I didn't want to sell it because I had to make sure,
Sure.
so hopefully I can find out, because I live up the road from it, I want to put a nice business in there.
Right, yeah, I see it for sale sign on it right now, so good. Yeah, I'd like to see something done with it, that's for
But,
sure.
it's a nice location for something that doesn't need, more than 6 parking spots.
Yeah, legal office. Very good, thanks.
Available.
That's why I wanted to know it. Thank you.
I think it's a great idea. I'm kind of surprised it wasn't approved, subject to the planning board and zoning certificate last April, or this past April. I was away on vacation, but anyway. I think it's a great idea. The only question I had, I guess in the 999 Main, Does Dennis not own that building or no?
Yes, I do.
Oh, you do, okay. I think in the documents, I thought it said you did not own that. Okay.
I've got a motion.
Yes.
Move to approve the Class A liquor license for Village Place of the Valley and transfer the license to Village Wine and Spirits, 26 Alton, Bradford Road, subject to all state and county regulations being met and all town council current fire issue.
Second.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
May I suggest, just so the record's cleaner, that we have a separate vote on the renewal and then a separate vote on the transfer?
Okay.
Because there's appeal periods and different things involved.
All right, move that we approve the Class A liquor license to Village Place, Class A license, to 229 Main Street. No, that's not the right one, sorry.
26.
99, well, we want to approve it to 999 Main Street, Hope Valley.
Right.
First motion.
Second.
Motion made second, all those in favor?
Aye. And then the second license would be, our motion would be to transfer the Village Place of Hope Valley license to Village Wine and Spirits, 26 Alton Bradford Road, in the name of, filed by Dennis Plant.
Subject to all state and town regulations being met.
Thank you.
Taxes current prior to issue. Second.
Okay, motion made second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Beautiful building, beautiful.
Good job.
Within that same thing, it looks like the motion. Yeah, one second, guys, I want to just finish up on this one. Sure. Because most of this motion to set limit on liquor licenses,
Right, those are all done, yeah.
Class A 2, Class BD Limited 1, Class BD 6.
But we can go back and do Lucky House, Chairman, did
We have a motion, right, don't we need a motion?
to do what?
What's this motion to set limit?
Oh, well, we can't set the limit until we're done doing all the liquor renewals, so Danny just walked in.
Oh, okay.
That's what I meant.
All right, so,
So we need a motion
we're in
To
this.
approve Lucky House Restaurant.
BV license for Lucky House Restaurant.
Second.
Okay, motion made second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Nobody walked in for Chairman?
Your chair of the rail yet?
So does that
Let's see,
change?
so that
Does
would be two,
that
one,
change?
and.
You're still missing 2.
Must be just one, so it would be BB 5 until, we hear from, yeah, this, yeah, we just continue that one.
So a motion to set,
Approve the 6, and then keep it away without subject to
Why does it have to do that?
Well, they always do, it should be,
and I think they should be, because
there's
there's
always.
always.
Yeah, it's a look at that, I have no problem with it being here, but instead of having to come back and then adding to this number, to keep that number, which is going to be, I don't know why we should approve this one less because of that.
Because it's not done yet.
You can do it either way.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody want to, the council wants to do.
I think we can always add BV liquor licenses, those are pretty easy, we can add A, so that you might as
Make the
well.
motion, which is 5 of them then.
Yeah, I make a motion to accept the limit of liquor licenses to Class A2, Class B Limited 1, Class B 5.
Second. Okay, motion made second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I was thinking,
Okay.
I don't think it should be left at 5 because,
That's what we voted on? I mean 6.
I mean 6.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I think that the other problem with Fairfield Hill is it's not open.
I understand that, but you just set a limit.
Right, and then the
So-
next council
Do we-
meeting.
So
set it
at any
again.
point in time, I thought this has been the limit for as long as I can ever
But
remember.
we can lift the limit.
That's what I'm saying, I mean,
Wesley does it all the time.
But what we can't do, Tom, is we can't go to Class A.
Yeah,
Class
we only
A,
have
we're
two.
only allowed 2. The others, we can.
why can't you, if you're changing the limit to the others, why can't you change the limit to the first?
Because Class A is the big liquor license, it's a state one.
We're only allowed
They're limited.
Oh, that's-
According to how many people are in our town.
I found that out.
That's a little bit more.
Right,
That's more
That's the
information
liquor
than I.
store.
yeah. But the BV can be changed.
Okay.
Move that we adjourn as a licensing board and reconvene as a council.
Okay, motion made and a second.
They got no pictures.
We gotta do pictures.
Oh, sorry, we skipped over some.
Withdraw that motion.
Withdrawn.
Victualling license renewals. Number 3, open a hearing on a renewal of the following victualling licenses. Rhode Restaurant, Charahoe Grill, Dunkin' Donuts, Federal Hill Country Club, Lucky House Restaurant, Mom and Pa's Country Cooking, Mom and Pa's Country Store, Main Street Pizza, Pavilion Steakhouse, Pete's Grocery, Spring Street Market, West Bakery, Whispering Pines Corp., Wood River Golf. Motion to grant renewal to the licenses subject to all state and town regulations being met and all town taxes current prior to issue.
We're gonna hold a Charahoe Grill fishing license in advance until they show up.
I don't think they're.
But they don't have to be here for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not required to be there.
That's not.
Okay. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Now I'll adjourn this licensing board.
And I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Consent agenda. Approved town council meeting minutes of October 17th, 2016. Set January. Yes, Lord.
17.
Set January 3rd, 2017 as the first town council meeting in January due to the New Year's holiday. Set January 3rd, 2017 as a hearing date for renewal of campground licenses.
Second.
Okay, motion and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. First public forum. Is there anything on the agenda you wish to speak about? Anyone?
I would like to speak.
Okay, it's on the agenda?
No.
Okay, second public forum.
Okay.
1 minute. Anything on the agenda anyone else wish to be heard on? Okay. Next, under my report, we had a meeting, a lot of town representatives and Hopkinton Hill representatives. We had a memo in our packet. I'm hopeful that we can get this resolved with the drainage and sloping issues on Lori Harris's property. We're moving to that end, although I'm not overly confident something will get done in time, but we'll see how it goes. But it's a step in the right direction that everyone got pulled together on that project, so we'll see what happens. Bill, town manager.
Well, thank you. The DEM grant meeting, October 21st, I met with Jim Lamphere, Sean Henry, Brian Russo, Ron McDonald, Ed Vasquez, in the planning office to discuss the 3 RIDEM grants. First grant was for $25,000 to update the hazardous mitigation plan. Second grant was for $25,000 to develop emergency action plans for the 8 high and significant risk dams located in town. And the last was for $5,400 to offset the stipend received by our local EMA director. During October, my administrative assistant, Courtney Highland, Jim Lamphere, and I developed and issued a request for proposals for the rebid of the Hope Valley Income Survey. There were no bids submitted pursuant to the first RFP, and there was an ad placed in the Providence Journal last Sunday for soliciting bids for this project, which is being funded through CDBG funding. Also during October, my assistant, Ron McDonald, Jim Lamphere, and I developed and issued requests for proposals for the update of the town's hazardous mitigation plan and consulting engineering services for the emergency action plans for the town's high and significant risk dams. These 2 initiatives are both being funded through DEM grants. We had that initial meeting in order to set a timetable and to draft and send out those RFPs. They're going to be advertised on November 13th, and we have bid openings late November and early December. So, we wanted to get those moving because there are time constraints involved. And then lastly, I worked with my assistant and others to ensure that the water meter replacement project was proceeding smoothly. We had sent out scheduling reminder letters on October 31st. That was the second batch of letters that went out to all those water line users who had not responded to date. And so far we have either installed or have scheduled to install 23 of the 50 water meters, with the rest to follow hopefully by the end of the calendar year.
Okay. Any questions from members?
I've got one. The Hope Valley Income Survey, the way we handled that, well, it was different back then, obviously, but in the early 90s, we needed to do that, and for CBG funds. It was an individual, it happened to be Jeff Marchand, he worked for South Penny Community Action, so South Penny Community Action was hired to do it, and it happened to be Jeff Marchand that did it. I'm wondering if rural New England, it's their offices down in Hope Valley in the Year Building, I wonder if there's a nonprofit like Rural New England or possibly South Penny Community Action, because they deal with income limits all day long. But I wonder if maybe that's a route that we could follow to get this done.
Well, that's
Something to think about.
responding to the RFP, right?
I mean, we could look at that. The RFP was advertised in last Sunday's Journal. That was a rebid, and
When's the deadline on that?
I think it's the 18th.
Okay.
Maybe it's, I don't have it handy. I think it's late November.
Yeah, let me
I'm not
know.
really sure the specific date. Generally, we give about 3 weeks. It might be around November 30th or so. We've had some interest from a couple of organizations on the rebid already that didn't respond to the first bid. So we're kind of cautiously optimistic that in addition to agencies submitting bids, that the ones that have reached out to us already will also submit a bid. So we're looking hopefully to get a couple of bids this time around.
Good, anything else? We'll go. Good, thanks, Bill. Nothing on the old business, nothing on the new business. Boards and commissions. Consider reappointment to the Conservation Commission.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint Deborah O'Leary to the Conservation Commission.
Second.
Motion made second, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'd like
Consider
to make
reappointment to Police Commission.
I'd like to make a reappointment to Police Commission for Style Gilmore.
Second.
Motion made second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Consider reappointment to Planning Board.
I'd like to make a motion to reappoint to the Planning Board Frank Saldana.
Second.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, motion made second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks. What's that? Last public forum, anything not on the agenda which should be heard? Yes, ma'am. Please come to the podium. Just, state your name and address.
My name is Amber Preston. I live at 131 North Road in Hopkinton. On February 9th, 2012, the Hopkinton Zoning Board created an exception for the residents at 129 North Road, the Spazzatos, to keep 4 alpacas in an R1 residential zone. They established restrictions that the alpacas had to be at least 50 feet from any boundary and 100 feet from any well. I called Brad Ward, the building and zoning official, on February 10th, 2012, and left a message asking him to come and measure these areas ASAP. Brad Ward called me back and we spoke. He told me he would not be coming out to measure, as he had received an email from the town manager, William McGarry, forbidding him to do so. I asked him who would be coming out to measure. He said he didn't know and to call William McGarry, and he gave me McGarry's phone number. I called McGarry 3 times. He did not return my messages. The fact of the matter is, numbers 125 to 143 North Road are all 100 feet wide. These restrictions could not possibly comply. They couldn't be 50 feet from any boundary without being 50 feet from the neighbor. And so, they were inches, I have a thumb drive, I don't know if anybody has a computer,
No.
but these alpacas were inches away from the boundary and inches away from the Spazzatos well. They can be seen on here, not only.
You did that.
And here is the plat map, I don't know if anybody wants to see that. 930 G, and the alpacas are at 30 H, there's a couple of copies. Mr. McGarry interfered with the zoning official's responsibilities. What occurred, how did it occur, and why did it occur? I find out this email has in storage because the computers have been updated. The Spazzatos felt so entitled to have the 4 alpacas, they decided that 2 cows would be permissible. On April 7th, 2013, it's on this thumb drive, there's a video of Zach Spazzato walking these 2 cows up the street, yoked together, pulling a heavy chain with automobile tires. I came home from work one night on April 13th, and I witnessed these 2 cows circling my house, stepping on a downspout. So I called the police. And when the police arrived, they said, we called Mr. Spazzato when we were driving over here, and Mr. Spazzato states his cows are on his own property. Well, I have a police report here of that night. And what's it say here? Mr. Spazzato states that stray cows are not his. We have stray cows on North Road in Hopkinton.
Yeah, but can I just fast forward a little bit?
Sure.
As far as I know, there's no more alpacas, no more cows.
They had just left, yes.
Right, okay. So,
The cows left and came back, they
yeah,
left
and then
and came back,
they went up to
left and
Reynolds,
came
right,
back.
right, okay. So,
So I also called Jonathan Muir at this time, and I talked to his wife and asked him to call me, and he didn't call. So in the 5 years since these animals have been allowed to stay, these people have tormented me. They have shot at my house. They have egged my house 3 times. They have thrown shovelfuls of dog crap at my house, and nothing has been done. I have called the police. They have destroyed bird feeders, wind chimes, watering globes. And Mr. Spazzato went down there and confessed it was his son, and still nothing was done. So I don't know where you want me to stop, because this has been going on for a long
Right.
time, and I'm very tired of it.
no, I know. All right, so we fast forward, there's no more cows,
There's no more
no
cows,
more alpacas.
no more
Okay,
alpacas.
so the neighbor-to-neighbor riff is still occurring.
I haven't spoken to them in
Okay.
years.
All right, so this is kind of all past tense, right, Amber?
No, but I want to know why no one came out to measure 5 years
Oh, I
ago.
don't know. I mean,
When you set up restrictions 50 feet from a boundary, why did someone not come out to measure?
It's a good question. We'll have to figure it out. You know, on public forum, I just got a note from the solicitor. I can't really comment to the extent that I would like to, or anyone else would like to.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out, Amber, and we'll find out why.
Well, like I said, this has been going on.
Oh, I know.
He swears at me. He claims my cat, who was locked in the house from 5:30 in the morning until 8 o'clock at night, is the reason that his dogs roam, and they're not licensed and they're not vaccinated. So my cat is somehow communicating through the walls of the house with the animals.
This is precisely why I don't like small lots.
Right.
It's all
Well, I don't
That's
like them anymore
precisely
either.
why, because you never know what's going to happen with your neighbor.
All right, well, we'll figure it out. I appreciate your comments, Amber, and we'll figure it out. We'll find out why it wasn't measured.
I'm just wondering where Mr. McGarry why that occurred.
Well, yeah, we'll figure it out.
And I think the 2 of you need to talk.
We have talked. Actually, I was delivering in Saunderstown this past spring, and he pulled me over, and evidently FedEx had delivered a letter that he couldn't find. So I asked him his name, and he told me, and his address, and I said, gee, are you related to Mr. McGarry, the town manager? And he goes, well, it's me. I said, well, do you have a problem with alpacas over here? And they don't have a problem with
No.
alpacas over
No.
there.
It's a little different area, but anyway.
So my house is not good
No,
enough
no,
to
I'm
be
just saying
protected by the town.
it's a RFR 80 versus an R1. So, but we'll figure.
Oh, no, we did check, and he won't pull over any other FedEx trucks, I can tell you that.
Well, thanks for your comments, Amber. I appreciate it.
Would you,
We'll figure it out.
If it's all right, would you mind sharing your telephone number with any of us? If that's all right? If you feel like giving it out, maybe you could give it to the clerk.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
401
that was a fun call.
206.
Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is that right?
motion to adjourn?
I'd like to adjourn in memory of Norman Jangarella, who just died this past week, and he was one of our zoning building inspectors for the time. Sorry, I'm very, we should do.
Second.
Okay, motion made, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.